Hey guys, welcome back to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and I've got an unscripted episode for you here. Unscripted just means I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to talk about. This is all very fresh in my brain. I just got things I got to get off my chest here. We as a movie fandom have got to stop saying that we want original movies. Movies that are not reboots, sequels, prequels, franchise films, adaptations of comic books or cartoons. We do want those things, and we do not support anything that's not those things. Now, that's why I want to make this video, because people are like, well, I do. Okay, let's talk about it. So a couple of days ago, I posted a video for the new Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. It's the 7th entry in the Jurassic Park series, and I reviewed it, and I liked it. I was like, I like it. There are things I really like about it. It's got some cool callbacks to the first one. It's got these things that are wrong with it. It's a balanced review. I like part of it. I don't like part of it. The fist shaking in the comments and on social media about this movie. How dare they keep going with this? These movies are so tired and worn out, and nobody asked for this. Nobody wants these sequels. Okay, then the numbers start to come in, and this is now already in its opening weekend. It is the second. This is the number I saw. The second biggest opening of the year globally in the world. Now, these numbers might change by the time you see this video, but the point is, a whole lot of people have gone to see the seventh Jurassic Park movie, and they're not seeing the things that they're asking for. We say if Hollywood made more original movies, everything would be better, but when Hollywood does make more original movies, most of the time we do not go see them. Now, somebody's going to say, well, what about Sinners? What about F1? Well, those are the two. Out of the dozens and dozens of movies that have come out so far in 2025, those are two of them. And those two have done all. Sinners has done well. I'm so happy with Sinners' success, because it's Ryan Coogler. He's really revealed himself to be a true auteur, and he has things on his mind. That movie is a powerhouse, and I'm so glad people are going to see it. But that's one movie. F1? Okay, F1's like a upwards of $300 million to make that movie, and in its opening weekend it made 55, maybe 57, something like that. That's not a good opening for a big IMAX kind of a thing, especially not when you look at what other movies, kid adaptation number 27 will rake in $100 million in one weekend. People complain about Lilo and Stitch, but it made so much money in its opening weekend. You have to compare these things. So really, Sinners and F1 are the only two movies that are really doing well. If you look at the top 10 so far, as I'm recording this video, now you keep that in mind, because if you go look at these numbers a week after I made this video, or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, it's going to look different. As I'm recording this video, of the top 10 movies of 2025 in terms of gross, to be clear, I don't care how well a movie does or doesn't do at the box office, other than it shows us what people want. It shows us what they're willing to peel out that cash for. That's the only thing that interests me about that, is it shows human trends in buying tickets. Of those top 10, Sinners is the only one that's not a franchise movie, a sequel movie, a reboot, adapted from something. The only one movie. We have to expand it to the top 20 of the year to get to F1. And now I should mention King of Kings is in there as well, but that's based on a Bible story, and you could argue that King of Kings, we could go back to that, was it a 50s movie or an early 60s movie? The big biblical movie, that's not new. That's not a new original story. That's a story that's been around for 2,000 years, okay? Can we agree on that? So we're at 2 movies out of 20 movies. The rest of them are all Marvel movies and franchise movies and cartoons and the live action remakes of stuff. People say, well, Disney, this is because I saw this when I reviewed Lilo and Stitch too, because here's the thing, I go see all of these movies, but I also see my top 5. There's a video right now that went up on the channel a couple of weeks ago as I'm recording this. It's my top 5 movies of 2025 so far. It's basically January through June of new movies, and not one of my top 5 picks is a sequel, franchise, reboot. They're all original stories, and that video didn't do very well. Most people haven't seen those movies. They're not interested in those movies, but we love to complain. They love to complain about the Disney trends of how we have all these, this year alone, we've got the live action remake of Snow White. We've got the live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. And people go, well, why aren't they doing original stories? Okay, so Pixar releases Elio this summer, and it is the worst opening. It's an original story, and it is the worst opening in the history of Pixar. And people are going to say, well, that's because it's not very good. No, I think it's a great movie. I think it's a far better movie than Lilo and Stitch, which is cleaning up at the box office. So we can't say we want this thing if we're not supporting the thing that we're asking for. There's also, because I know my audience, and that's part of where this unscripted video comes from, there's also a subset of my audience that says, everything's terrible and nothing is worth going to see anymore. And some of those people are being honest with themselves. There are people that watch this channel that are only buying discs. They're blind buying movies that they've never seen and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single month on that experience. But there are also a lot of those people who are complaining about how nothing is good in the theater, and they went to see Jurassic World. They went to see Thunderbolts, or they're going to go see Fantastic Four. They're going to go see Superman. All this complaining that people do, it's not sincere. It may be sincere for a small subset of the audience. You know, in the summer of 2024, I made a very clear, I made a huge deal out of it that I was boycotting these big summer tentpole movies. That I was going to use that time and that money to go see smaller movies. So if there was a huge spectacle movie that was opening that weekend, like Beetlejuice, or something like that. The big one for me was Deadpool and Wolverine, because that movie, I said it when I started to boycott it. At Christmas time the year before, they were already saying it was the movie of the year. But that's actually 8 months, I think, before it came out. However many months before it came out, they were already saying it was the best movie of the year, the biggest movie of the year. Disney paid so much money to market that they knew that they could market that to a success, but they had to spend hundreds of $millions to do that. Obviously, smaller movies don't have that kind of money, so it's on us to find them and support them. My point is, when I did this boycott last year, first of all, it made no difference whatsoever. The idea that one person is going to change the tide is ridiculous. But I was hoping that it would catch on with other people. It really didn't, and it cost me views, it cost me subscribers, because people are like, why aren't you going to see the big thing? We want to talk about the big thing. And I'm like, well, I didn't see the big thing. I went to see the little thing. That's not the best way to get yourself in front of people. That's not the best way to build an audience or to engage with them. And that's one reason you see all these YouTube channels selling Outrage. That's why you see YouTube channels that are trashing the latest Jurassic whatever movie or Marvel movie with Outrage, because they did see it, but they're trashing it. And Outrage is a business. Please remember, Outrage is a business. It creates clicks, and those clicks create cash. It's a shortcut to financial success and algorithm success, because negativity gets far more engagement than positivity. Remember that when you consider who you're listening to. It's a business. They don't believe what they're saying to you. They don't believe the stuff that they're talking about, but it sure does make a lot of money. So I realized, even by the end of the summer last year, I was like, this is not good for what I'm trying to do. Better now to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth, because it was written by David Koepp, who also wrote Black Bag this year. So by talking about Jurassic World, I get to go, well, this one's got some story problems, but he sure did do a good job with Black Bag. Same screenwriter, just a few months apart. Huge tentpole movie that not a whole lot of people went to go see and probably still haven't seen. Black Bag is everything that Mission Impossible wishes it was. It's cooler than Mission Impossible, it's sexier than Mission Impossible, and it's a whole lot smarter than Mission Impossible. But people aren't really seeing it. They're not talking about it. And one of the reasons is because these movies don't have the budget to market to you. You have to know what you want to see. You have to be checking the showtimes. People say, how do I know what's playing? Okay, so maybe I do want to see some of these smaller movies, but I don't know what's playing. You have to check. For 30 years of my life, I have been checking showtimes on the weekends or even during the week. You know, the AMC app makes it so easy. Not to shill for AMC. Boy, I'd love it if they were a sponsor, but they're not. They don't know I exist. I just keep giving them my money and talking about what a good product they put out in terms of the A-list, which lets me see 16 movies for $20 a month. And people argue with me and they go, well, there's nothing worth seeing. I'm like, well, you're paying more than that to go see one movie You go see one movie in IMAX for $18, you've just about bought yourself 16 movies that you could see in 3D. I wish they were a sponsor. AMC, holla at your boy. Let's talk about some sponsorship opportunities. But the app, you can pick the theater in your area. You can see the showtimes. You can select your seats. You can look at showtimes weeks in advance. Plan your next month around the movies that are going to be playing. It's not a mystery. When the newspapers were a thing, I would get the newspaper every Friday to see what the showtimes were. You could call the theater. I don't know. Can you still call a theater? I bet you can. But you know what you can do? Go to their website. You're on the internet all day anyway. Go to their website and see what's playing. We expect the movies to just walk in front of us and sit in front of our TV and go like, I'm here. Come see me. And then, of course, we go like, no, I'll catch you on streaming. If you wait for something that's small or independent to when it hits streaming, you have not supported the movie. Box office is the thing that matters. Spending money is the thing that matters. And if we are going to continue to say that we're sick of franchises, that we're sick of reboots, we're sick of sequels, we're sick of live action remakes, we have to support the alternative to that, or what are we? We're a bunch of hypocrites who don't put our money where our mouth is. We're complaining about something that we have the control to fix that we don't. If we have the power to do something and we don't do it, what does it make us? Look, man, I've talked about this over and over on my channel, and every time I do, it's like people are hearing it for the first time and they go like, wait a minute, you're saying that me, have an impact on what gets made? You do reach a point where you're just like, okay, we're just wired to be contrarian. We're just wired to shake our fist and go like, well, they don't do this. And then the second they do this, we go like, well, but that's not what I want. I want to complain. I want to complain about how they don't do this. I don't want you to actually do the thing I want. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is crazy. It's crazy times when people are saying movies like, you know, and I guess like okay, I just mentioned Black Bag. Somebody's going to be like, oh, I hated it. Well, I'm sorry. It's the thing you want. Maybe we have too high standards. Maybe we should just go back into movies and expect a good time and not for it to challenge our entire worldview or to like rewrite our DNA. Remember when you just used to go to movies and expect to have a good time? Maybe we need to get back to that a little bit. And again, if you can take the financial investment out of the experience, and somebody's going to be like, well, I don't go to the theaters because there's so many terrible people in there. Yeah, you do. Don't lie to yourself. You do. 1% of the audience doesn't. 1% of my audience doesn't go to the theater. Most of you, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because I see it all the time. People go, well, I don't want this. And then I'll see that same commenter talking about going to see the franchise movie. So you do. Be honest with yourself. If you spent that energy and you spent that ticket money on something that was original, you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose one over the other. You can go see Jurassic World. I went to see Jurassic World. Go see Black Bag too. Go see The Surfer too. Go see, what are some of my other favorite movies? Go see Companion. No, man, I saw Companion. Nobody was in Companion. I talked about Companion. It's like, nobody goes to see these movies. Let me catch them later when they're on streaming and we're like, well, that was pretty good. Yeah, and it needed you. It needed you. It needed you a whole lot more than those dinosaurs needed you. Or those Marvel characters needed you. We have got to support the things that we want, or they're not going to be around forever. One last point before I go. Success for these movies, and this is very important. Success for a Jurassic World movie is success for the movie theater. If we boycott these movies and don't support the smaller movies, we are killing the theater, and then we will have nothing. None of these movies will exist because they make their money at the theater. They don't make it on streaming. Streaming is a huge money suck. Now, some of the streaming services are profitable, but the movie makes its money at the theater. $200 million or $500 million, $500 million, whatever it is. That's where it really finds its audience for the first time, and that's where they recoup the cost for that thing. If we kill the blockbuster, the reboot, the franchise movie, we also kill the theater. So one of the reasons I buy some of the popcorn buckets if I'm interested in it. I'm like, well, I'm supporting the theater directly. It's not a bad thing. And plus, there's a cool, I shouldn't be, I will be honest. Some of them are kind of cool. Not all of them. Some of them are kind of cool. I like the idea of a popcorn bucket. I like the idea of dinosaurs. I like Jurassic Park. I like to see dinosaurs doing cool things. I like to see Marvel movies. I go see all these movies, but that's not all that I go see. And if you're going to complain, you have to be part of the solution, or you know what that makes you. Guys, I appreciate you. Ooh, spicy one, huh? Sorry about that. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. It needed to be said. We have the thing that all the movie studios want. We have the cash. Who are we giving it to? What movies are we giving it to? If we're going to complain about something, let's spend it in a way that sends a message. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Hey, continue the conversation in the comments below. I know a lot of you guys are going to have a lot to say. The downside is a lot of you start talking before you've actually watched the video, and you refute points that you haven't even seen me make, and that's unfortunate. But you know what? I guess that's the YouTube game at this point, is you are commenting based on what you think I'm going to say instead of what I actually did say. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. I would love your informed comments so we can continue the conversation in the comments below. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.